Lynn Saxby.
Thank you, Mr Chairman, and thank you to my right honourable friend, the member for Basingstoke, for securing today's debate. More women stood in the 2019 general election than ever before, and more female MPs came through as a result. This is progress. But to keep more women coming forward, we need to urgently do more to tackle the abuse politicians have to deal with online. 49% of candidates in the 2019 election reported they suffered some form of abuse, harassment or intimidation whilst campaigning, up 11% from 2017. Worryingly, female politicians face far more abuse than male ones. We also report more acts of intimidation, threats, physical violence and mental abuse. Is it any wonder the average female MP resigning in 2019 had served a full 6 years less than the average resigning male MP? At my selection to represent North Devon, I was given an article entitled "Abuse, Stalkers and Death Threats, Who'd Be a Female MP?" I didn't read it, as indeed that is how so many of us deal with the abuse. We ignore it. And heaven forbid you choose not to and do read what is written about you, which bears no resemblance to the truth, and attempt to fight back. We do our best to joke with other female colleagues about how many death threats we have received. My voodoo curse was a particularly unusual one, and whilst MPs have to be thick-skinned, this should not be a normal conversation to have. Whilst we might do our best to laugh it off, others do read it. A charity I was supporting this weekend observed on my arrival how much hatred must people have to write the abuse on my Twitter feed following my support for their charitable event. On moving in, my new neighbours popped their head over the wall and said how sorry they were for the dreadful comments I received on Facebook, and they couldn't believe what people wrote. More important still, other women and girls who might aspire to follow in our footsteps do read those comments and have to assess this as part of their decision to put themselves forward. Local female candidates in North Devon have stood down, and it's pretty hard to get female candidates to stand up in the first place. But why would they want to put their friends and families through such abuse? I speak today not for myself or even just my constituents, but rather for women everywhere. I'm speaking to ensure that our Parliament continues to better reflect the wider population. I'm speaking to encourage more to be done to tackle the cowards that hide behind anonymous profiles. I'm speaking out because it is the right thing to do. And whilst I am proud to be the first female MP for North Devon, I don't want to be the last. The analytical mathematician in me wonders, why do people do it? It's unpleasant, unnecessary and upsetting. We must call it out wherever we see it. We must not let it go unchallenged. We must not accept that this is normal. As a former teacher, we should call out the online abuse we all endure for the bullying it truly is. If we want Parliament to better reflect society, retain the additional women elected in 2019 and go on to achieve a 50-50 ratio, we cannot accept ignoring our social media feed is the new normal. The silent majority believes this as well, and I hope the silent majority will find their inner keyboard warrior and speak up for particularly female politicians of all political persuasions, who in the great majority work tirelessly for the people that elected them. As in the words of the great Michelle Obama, when someone is cruel or acts like a bully, you don't stoop to their level. No. Our motto is, when they go low, we go high.
Yeah.